All right, in this video, I want to talk about, let's say, my favorite way to use ChatGPT to help you write your content. And the concept of this is that you are the expert in your niche. You are the person who has the experience. You're the person who has the knowledge. Okay. And you're going to use ChatGPT to help you bring out that knowledge. So, as an example, let's say there was a really brilliant CPA, like the smartest accountant in the world. He knew everything about accounting, but he was a bad writer. Like he didn't know how to write. He hated writing. He couldn't write. Okay. That's how I kind of want you to think about using ChatGPT for your blog, is that you have that institutional knowledge on your niche. In that example, the CPA knows everything about accounting, but he doesn't enjoy writing or he doesn't like to write. So he's going to use that knowledge in his brain and feed that knowledge, feed that experience into ChatGPT, and then ask ChatGPT to write about that experience, right? And I think, at a higher level, this is where I think it's okay in Google's eyes to use AI content, right? Because they say they're okay with AI content so long as it demonstrates the ability to show EAT or double EAT. But how does an AI demonstrate EAT, right? It doesn't have firsthand experience. It doesn't have firsthand expertise. But you have that experience and you have that expertise. So by you feeding that knowledge and feeding that expertise into ChatGPT, that is, I think, the perfect marriage and the perfect use case for creating content with ChatGPT. Yes, you can have it create articles from scratch and post it word for word on your site if you choose. But I think the optimal way to do it is to put yourself in the driver's seat, right? Use your knowledge and your expertise, feed that to ChatGPT, and let ChatGPT write it, right? Another way to think about it, another analogy, is a biographer, right? So someone's sitting down to write a biography about you. So you have all of the knowledge, you have all of the experience, you have all of the life events, and you're just feeding it to the biographer, and they're the ones who writes the content. But it's your lived experience. So in terms of analogies, that's how I like to think about it. So I'm going to show you a brief example on how I like to do this. And I have part of my prompt here because I didn't want to forget the name of the hotel. So I recently went to Key West with my family and we stayed at this hotel, right? The Hyatt Centric in downtown Key West. So the example that we're going to use here, right? So I'm telling ChatGPT, you are an expert travel writer. Your task is to write an in-depth review of the Hyatt Centric Key West. But what I'm going to do is share my specific experience with one part of the hotel, which was the pool. So I'm going to, and this is literally my experience. It was not a great experience, but I'm gonna feed the AI my firsthand experience at the hotel and then ask it to write about the pool, right? So you are the right, blah, blah, blah. The first section we're going to write is about the hotel pool. I'm going to feed you a set of facts and first-hand experiences, and your job is to write about them. Do you understand? So again, before I just start feeding it a couple of impressions or my experience about the pool hotel, I want to just ask it if it understands. Focusing on the pool based on the information provided. Please proceed with the facts and firsthand, right? So this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly, so, what's the best way to do this? That's why I like prompting it with do you understand? So that the prompt is kind of out of the way. And now I can just feed it the facts, right? So I'm going to say, The crowd at the pool was mostly 60 and above. And this is all true. There were not many families or young kids present at the pool. Lounge chairs were freely available. You didn't have to save seats early in the morning. I hate how that is sometimes at resorts where you have to get up at like 5 a.m., you know? So these, just to take one step back if it wasn't clear, these are real things that happened when I was there, right? The AI could never produce this content because it doesn't have the experience. But I do have the experience. But maybe I don't want to write, paragraph after paragraph about these facts. So I want to feed the AI these facts. What else about the pool? The pool water was pleasantly warm, and there was also a hot tub next to it. The food and drink service was severely lacking. Most of the time, it was impossible to get the attention of the waiter. Oftentimes, you had to get up and order your drink at the bar itself, right? So that's a very specific detail that the AI is not going to just come up with, or it may come up with it, but it might not be true, right? So this is again my favorite way, and I think the best way to use the AI. So another thing, this sounds like I had a bad experience at the hotel, which wasn't the case. It was just the pool area specifically, but all of this stuff is true. There were several, I think they were roosters. Are they roosters that are in Key West? I think so. Chickens? I'm not sure. Roosters and birds at the pool, which made quite a bit of noise, and they left quite a mess that the pool staff didn't always clean up. The food was pretty good and reasonably priced, especially the grilled chicken. All right, so I think you get the idea here, right? I am going to give ChatGPT very specific facts or impressions, whatever you want to call it, based on my firsthand experience. So is this enough? Let's see what happens. I don't know if I need to reprompt it. Well, let's see what happens. Right. So it did exactly as I asked. And now was it in the best tone? Maybe not. Would you rewrite this? Potentially. But think about it this way. It's like I have a running notebook and I'm just feeding it my notes. But all of this, so I would have no problem publishing this as, I mean, we could probably make it a little bit better, but I would have no problem publishing this as is on my website. And again, when Google talks about AI content that demonstrates qualities of EAT, this is what I believe they're talking about. All of the things here are based on my firsthand experience. I'm just using AI to help me produce the content. And I really do think this is probably the most important lesson in this course because it's, again, in my opinion, right now, the optimal way to use ChatGPT. Now, so this is just obviously the part of the review that's about the pool, but I could do the same thing for check-in. I could do the same thing for the restaurant, the restaurant at the hotel. I could do the same thing about the surrounding area next to the hotel, the downtown, blah 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 blah. Right? That's how I would build out a review of the hotel using ChatGPT. You're basically feeding it a bunch of notes, right? Excuse me, shorthand notes, and then let the AI take care of putting it into paragraph form. But again, even though this is AI content, this is firsthand experience content. And again, in my opinion, depending on the niche, depending on where you are with your website, the single best way to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT. All right, thanks.